Welcome back to 𝐒𝐻 Studio. It's time for weekly news. Let's start. Architecture with shapes, fast-built, high-performance, prefabricated homes. Serena Confalonieri transforms abandoned parking lot in Milan into a graphic urban playground. Interview: ODA seeks to extend New York City's public spaces beyond the street. The vessel in New York may be permanently closed after fourth suicide. Open-air courtyard as a pop of green to humble interior renovation in Canada. A new project of 𝐒𝐻 Studio, KDI. Structural insulated panels are self-supporting panels composed of a rigid foam core that is located between two structural coverings, usually OSB boards, resistant and lightweight. The panels are manufactured in a controlled manner in the factory and then transferred to the construction site, allowing for the rapid assembly of floors, walls, and ceilings, and generating a hermetic thermal and acoustic envelope. The thickness of the panel will correspond to the sum of the thickness of each of its components, and its weight should not exceed 20 kilograms per meter square. Although designers will most commonly use ships with true claddings and an insulating core supporting dead loads of up to 5 kilograms per meter square, and live loads of more than 30 kilograms per meter square. There are options that include additional wooden frames to increase rigidity. Designer and art director Serena Confalonieri, along with a team of students, volunteers, have created Quadra, a graphic installation that is a part of initiative Piazza a Party, promoted by Municipality of Milan. The urban intervention is a graphic art project in a formal parking lot in the 𝐒𝐻 district that aims to enhance and characterize tactical urban interventions of all cities. The aim of the intervention was to create a recreational space that could visually enhance the existing plots and encourage the neighbors to gather and socialize in outdoor public areas. Intervention was applied to 600 square meter plot and included a graphic subdivision to the grid that resembles the sheets of square notebooks. These grid squares were then filled with primary colors and simple geometric forms, referencing the drawings that children draw on the pages of their school notebooks. ODA begins its Beyond the Street study in New York's Flower District, stretching from Broadway to the 6th Avenue between 23rd and 33rd. The neighborhood used to thrive as a pedestrian-filled market area with flower vendors together with hotels, dwellings, and boutique offices. Over time, the area had become overrun with car traffic and empty storefronts. The team at ODA addresses this condition, along with the lack of green space, and proposes a revitalization. A new zoning regulation proposed by ODA will encourage new buildings to include bigger courtyards in return for an increase of floor area and height. An addition bonus will be granted as a passageway is built from the street to the rear courtyard. The privately owned area will thus become a diversely programmed public ecosystem. Designed by 𝐻 Studio, the vessel was reopened 2 months ago with new suicide prevention measures, was temporarily closed again after a 14-year-old boy died by suicide on site on Thursday afternoon. The site had closed earlier in January following 2 suicides in less than a year and a half, then reopened in May without having raised the height of the barriers as local community board and suicide prevention researchers had requested. 𝐒𝐭𝐮𝐲's 150-foot tall main structure may never be opened again, according to a statement that Stephen Ross, the developer of 𝐒𝐭𝐮𝐲, told the Daily Beast. The suicide rate was fourth in a year and a half. Enraged community members who have repeatedly asked for higher barriers on the walkways. According to New York Times, an employee from Heatherwick Studio expressed frustration with the developer's resistance to higher barriers. "We designed safety barriers for the vessel a while back. It's now time to install these," said the employee, who was not authorized to speak publicly. Residence Armor by Atelier Border is a full renovation project of a 20th century triplex house in Montreal, Canada, preserving its existing facade. The architects sought to respect the building history, proceeding only to subtle changes on the original elements and reinforcing the transition between old and new. The focal point of the single-family dwelling is an open-air courtyard that adds a pop of green to the otherwise soft and demure interior. Atelier Border focuses on three archetype design principles: the loggia, the passageway, and the colonnade. The area of the building is up to 600 square meters. KDI has a layout including large meeting room using closed space, dark brown tones. The lobby room uses dark brown tones combined with mainly light from the outside environment. Office furniture is neatly arranged with the main color being white. The lighting of the KDI building is shown as daylight. This will have the office space more realistic, more emotional, and similar to real life. In addition, the interior details in the office were also illuminated by light from the outside environment. The accents of the room will also draw the viewer's eyes.